Hi folks, John Dunn here, RPG freelancer, publisher behind Meliorvia. I'm up here at Immortals Inc. tonight with Mikey.
Hello, John. Hello, people of Earth. What are we talking about today?
Well, we are talking about something that is not around on this Earth.
Really?
Yes, we are talking about Alien.
I feel like I should have directed that introduction to people outside of Earth as well.
Possibly, yeah.
Well, yeah. Let me rephrase that.
We are talking about the Alien starter set.
Ooh.
This is a fairly recent release.
Really?
Yeah, fairly recent. At least I think so. I don't know. Maybe
I don't
my
know.
time sense is
It's
all
a genuine
okay,
question.
It came out in 2019. So
Okay, that's
in my
recent.
world, that's recent.
That's recent.
Yeah. This came out from Free League Publishing, and this is just the starter set. There are a whole lot of other materials out there for this game now, including a core rule book that is not included in this. And it was created by Thomas Herenstone. This is the box set. It's an intro version of it, like I said. It's kind of an abbreviated rules. There is a rule book in here. The main one, I think, is around 350, 400 pages. This is 105, so it's kind of cut down a bit
Nice.
from that. There are notably no character creation rules in here. So you do get a set of character sheets for guys that are pre-generated and ready to go with the adventure. And these are these guys. They've got a nice pictures, a little bit of personality and history, and then the functional sheet on the back there.
Ooh, so it's legit.
Yeah, there's also some tokens and some dice and some cards that you can use in gameplay. And
Everything you need.
Yeah, well, pretty much everything you need to get started. One thing I think that's really visually striking and very cool is this big honkin' map. So this is the map, and I don't know how I can fit this into the screen, but that's basically the entire world setting for the alien world, the Weyland-Yutani map of the known space. And then on this side, we got some maps that tie into the adventure, because this set really is about playing one specific adventure. You've got the characters and you've got the adventure content for it. So you got the dice, you got the map, you got the cards, you got some tokens for using on those smaller maps inside. And then we got the rule book. Let me talk about that rule book a little bit, okay? It's full color. Like I said, it's about 105 pages. And it's broken up into really 4 or 5 sections. The first one they call Space is Hell.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's kind of your settings, basics. And it mentions the GM. But instead of GM meaning Game Master, it's Game Mother.
Okay.
Because if you remember, the boss queen is kind of the big bad when
Yeah.
we talk about aliens.
Mothers for the win.
Exactly. Then your character, there's about 8 pages on that. It talks about cinematic play versus campaign play. Because this is kind of a one-shot adventure, it's not really going to be campaign-based. So when things get more cinematic, player characters tend to be much more mortal. It gives you a rundown on career, attributes, skills, and talents, because you're going to need to know those things as they apply to your character, assuming you're playing one of these pre-generated guys. And then you got 16 pages talking about skills. It talks about dice rolling. It's a dice pool system. You're going to need 2 different colors of dice. One is your normal ones, but as things go wrong for your character, you can build up stress. Stress introduce dice that are an alternate color. In this set, they intend you to use the black as your normal and the yellow as your stress dice. Stress dice can still succeed, but depending on how they roll, they can really complicate matters. Because of that, you kind of want to be careful when you're game mastering this to not have a lot of extraneous tests. Tests really can have consequences, so you want to make sure anytime the players are rolling, it's for a really good reason.
I hate tests.
Yeah, well, so do the characters in this game.
Cool.
Yeah. You get descriptions on the skills. It is a very narrow list of skills. It is very focused on doing things that you see in the Aliens movies, right? So it's tied into those themes and settings. I found it a little narrow when I played around with it, but I can see how it's really well focused for doing the things that they want to do. Next section of the book is combat and panic. I did mention that stress system. It kind of creates a downward spiral. So when things start to go wrong for your character, they keep going wrong and they get worse and worse as things progress.
Great.
Yeah. And then the last bit of the book, and it's 23 pages, is the gear section. And it's weapons and tools that are all tied into, adventuring in a world where basically capitalism has gone horribly wrong, and there's aliens there that want to eat you.
Awesome.
Yeah, right.
Self-explanatory.
The adventure that's included is a bit shorter, right? So it's a 48-page book. So this one's staple bound instead of being perfect bound like that rule book. It's called Chariot of the Gods.
I love the title name.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's epic.
Kind of a call out to Van Daniken. Have you ever heard of him?
No, but let's hear it.
So Van Daniken was an author who was really popular back in the 70s, kind of inspired Battlestar Galactica.
Ooh.
The whole idea of it was that these aliens or gods had come down to Earth and basically inspired humanity.
We need some inspiration.
And so that, man came from the stars. And I think maybe the adventure kind of ties into that idea.
Okay.
Yeah. It takes use of the tokens that are in the box set so that you get tokens that are relevant to the PCs and the NPCs in this adventure. And the maps that are on the back of that big poster map are the locations that are relevant for this adventure. The pre-designed PCs tie in very specifically to the adventures. So they've got hooks into the different scenes and they've got the skills, as long as everybody's present, that you're going to need in order to successfully complete the adventure. Of course, things can go wrong. If you have, some bad dice rolls, maybe the character with the skills you need might not be around by the time you need him to have those skills in use.
It'd be like that sometimes.
It can, and that's kind of the nature of this kind of adventure where it's intended to be dark, it's intended to be horrific, and things can go really, really wrong. That's pretty much the box set. It's probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 to 8 hours of gameplay. It's enough to get your feet wet. Those cards and the dice don't come with the core rulebook. They're sold separately. So if you are kind of on the edge, this is a great way to get into the setting because it gets you the tools you might need. And then you might use those if you decide to play more. Like I mentioned, this is intended to be a cinematic adventure, so your characters probably, at least some of them, probably aren't going to make it alive all the way to the end, as opposed to the campaign model that the core rulebook does offer. And that also offers things like creating rules for creating your own characters and angles on a couple of different campaign styles. This came out in 2020 from Free League Publishing. It's full color. Like I mentioned, 2 books, poster, tokens, cards, dice, and the box set's $50. Do have them on the shelf here at Immortals Inc. This sounds like something that might be up your alley. If you like the Aliens movies and the setting, it's pretty cool. Stop in, check it out. Let me know what you think.
And even more recent than 2019, 2020 actually. So
there you go.
Come grab it.
All right. Till next time, folks. Good gaming.
Peace.